GitHub is a great place to spend time and learn about code, but sometimes this contributions graph stresses people out. Maybe your internal contributions are not being presented. Maybe you don't feel that it's green enough. This is mine from 2015. I thought I did a lot of contributions, 300 contributions in a year. That was great. This doesn't look very green. Well, I had other things to do. I'm not going to let that make me feel bad. Make sure that you're not measuring people and comparing yourself to them. Instead, you want to measure yourself and compare yourself to your previous self. How are you doing last year? And are you doing better this year? The same thing with Stack Overflow. Apparently, I have a lot of reputation over there, and I'm in the top 3%. I've really only been there 4 or 5 times. It turns out that I've only answered 110 things, but they were good answers. They were popular answers. It's too bad I didn't put those on my blog, because that would have been 110 blog posts instead of 110 answers on a website that I don't go to. Another great place to spend time is user groups, meetups, nerd dinners. Try to be social with people, hang out with folks virtually right now, or in person when things are better. And remember that the goal here is to be inspired by others. When you spend time with other humans that are going to lift you up and share their knowledge, as I hope you go out and share your knowledge, these people are going to give you energy. You need to use that energy. Use that energy for good. YouTube, speaking, these are all opportunities for you to connect with an audience. Sometimes people are introverts. That's okay. You can unite in your own area, in your own home. Some people enjoy the quarantine because they're home. They're doing things like this wonderful virtual online conference. But the goal here is to stay relevant. And remember that you're probably an expert at something. Everyone is an expert at something. I encourage people to have their own blog because your words are wasted if you put them on a walled garden. Don't give your words to Facebook. Give them to yourself on a website or a blogging platform that you control, because your blog is the engine of community. It's where long-form writing happens. Your domain, your content, in a place that you control. Being yourself is a better way to phrase marketing and branding. This is a talk on branding yourself, but that's really just a trick to get you to come here and see this talk. Branding yourself doesn't mean making something up or marketing. It means being yourself. So I recommend that people have a consistent and professional username on every site. They use clear avatars. Remember that not everyone wants their face on the internet. There are a lot of people in underrepresented groups that don't want their face on the internet, and that's okay. Just make sure that it's some face and it's consistent. It could be a Simpsons character, as long as I know that, oh, that's the kangaroo that I met on Twitter, and now they're on GitHub. Your username and your avatar should just be identifiable. So I say, oh, it's that nice person who knows a lot of things about code. Remember, one kind persona with the goal being to add value. And if you make a mistake, lean into it. That's okay. Here's an example of a couple of people that I think are really great because they present themselves online in an incredibly professional and cool way. Angie Jones is a great tester and an inventor. She's on the internet all over the place. She has a great website with an identifiable URL and recognizable avatar. So everywhere that you see her online, you know that it's Angie, and Angie becomes a name that we think of when we think of quality. This is a person who is a data scientist named Angela, who's not put her face on her website, which I think is cool, but instead she does something really innovative. She has quotes from people about how awesome she is. That's a really cool thing. It's almost like those movies where you see the garlands that tell you about how great that movie is. These are people who are saying that Angela is a good person and a genuine pleasure to work with. It's nice to know that people think you're a great worker. Even cooler that you put that on your website and own that so that you feel good about the work that you do. Chris Coyer is really clever. He's a web developer, so he's made his website interactive so he can show you the markdown or the HTML or the code, And you can pick a short, medium, or a long bio. I thought that an interactive online resume was incredibly creative and thoughtful. Safia Abdullah is a really great open source developer, and I really think it's cool that her URL is Safia Rocks. So she's actually telling people and herself that she's awesome. Safia rocks, and she put it in the URL itself. Remember that it's not a flex if it's true. A lot of people feel like maybe they're not the right person to be a mentor, or they can't find a mentor. You're never too old to get good advice. I have people who mentor me, but also if you're younger, that's cool too, because you're never too young to share your experiences. Just because I'm near 50 doesn't mean I can't have a 20-year-old teach me new things. So remember that mentorship is not about age.